Hey guys, how you going? Campbell here from AutoDidactic channel. Hope you're all having a spectacular day. And today we've got something special for you. We're going to have a chat with Gary and Sam from Truthurts channel. Now they're up in Queensland and this is one of their videos we're looking at the moment. They've been out walking around looking at all the different rock formations out there. Now they're just starting a new channel, so get over there guys, show them some love, give them a sub, a like, comment, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, without further ado, let's get in and have a chat with Gary and Sam from Truthurts. Alright, so how are you?
Yeah, awesome, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Awesome, man. So that's a good one to start on.
Big school of art.
So that's what I was talking about. I think it's an old Tartarian house, that, mate. Like,
if you zoom in on the front door, there's like a face.
Yeah, as well. It's pretty cool, like an old Phoenician face right at the door.
Like, oh, nice. Yeah, right.
See that?
Hang on.
And I got a good photo of that too. It's a shame we can't share it with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, lamp posts going straight into pillars.
Yeah. And look at you can see the levels, like level one, level two, then there's another level, but it's just buried halfway, you know?
There, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously this bit up here on the sides, in addition, later on, they've probably added on. That's probably what they actually built when they found it all.
Yeah. If there's any building pictures, it'll be that, yeah. Construction photos.
And mate, what makes me laugh, look at the money they've invested in the School of the Arts, right? Back in 60s or whatever. And these days, like, there is no funding for the arts. Like, they're
trying to cut it out. And also, like, they say that they built this building in the 1880s or something, and they could whack that up. But then, what, in the 1920s or 30s, they could only do this.
Yeah,
wooden addition
or an add-on. Yeah. I mean, it's almost an insult to the building, that add-on, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, look at the level of the floors. See the floor level on that? That's a full level. Look how it goes next to this. That's twice as high.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Twice as high.
So we walked around the back
of
this thing. Like, we went under that where the add-on was, and you can go around the back, and it's just full on red brick, like stripped down.
Yeah, you can see old archways in the brickwork.
Yeah, they've just filled in hallways or something. Can you see that?
Yep. Yeah.
So it's got like windows built up.
Yeah. That's like a doorway, something. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, okay. So look at that. Oh my gosh, look at this. Yeah. See that shape? Everywhere.
Yeah.
And that they tell us that rivers run in straight lines, and they always find their straight line. And that's why they say we have things like billabongs. You know, a billabong, they say, is this part of the river. When the river's gone, hang on, it's quicker to go this way, and this gets cut off. But we don't see that anywhere. All we see is this.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. All right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right. This is, you see these towns all over Australia, don't you?
Yeah, man. And if you go down a little bit and chuck a left at the lights there.
Left?
Oh, there's a building there. That building to the left of that art building isn't there anymore.
And mate, the back of this town hall, man, I didn't talk about that. We've got to bring that up on your photo. Or even your video, mate. Mate, this thing, it looks like, you know, the back of like the Notre Dame and all those sort of churches and that, where they've got those massive, tall, like, parts of the building, like at the end. It's like, mate, they've got one at the end of this town hall.
The swinging buttresses, you mean? Like all the flying buttresses?
Yeah, I'll just show you, see if you can see the video. Look at the size of that thing.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's at the back of the town hall, bro.
It looks
Wow.
like it's
And
just
just
been-
keep showing. It's that's it. Look at this photo.
Oh my God.
It's like they've just sprayed this or sheeted it up and then sprayed it in concrete or something.
just completely stripped it down. And
It's like 100 foot tall.
What's it supposed to be? Do they say what it's supposed to be?
No, like there's no. It's just
Because did you see that bombing on Christmas Day in the US, and they bombed that building? It was like a telecommunications building. Did you hear that?
okay.
And
No.
they blew this building up. It's supposed to have been like a truck bomb or something. But when you look at the building afterwards, this building looked like an office building with windows and everything in it. And the bomb ripped some of the facade off. And it was actually just a solid brick building with no windows, no doors, and all the windows were the facade. They were just putting
Wow.
it.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
man.
mate, I'm not. That's what this thing's got windows like that, man. And it's like, but windows like, it's like, what's up there? What are they doing in this like weird shaped building, mate? That's 80 foot tall.
Exactly. You know, are these big
At the back of-
storage?
at the back of the church, mate. It's not like on a farm where you've got like a mill or something like that. This is like the back of the town hall. It's so sus, mate. That whole and there's a great photo. Can you bring that up on your phone of the Freemasons? The Freemasons. There's a photo on the front of that art house, man, at the building, right? And it's got the Freemasons doing a ritual there in 1857.
I don't know if you can see that. Can you read that? The middle one?
Laying a foundation stone.
Yeah. Laying the foundation stone.
Yeah.
That's for the original. Yeah, read what it says under it.
Full Masonic regalia and rituals.
Yeah.
1887.
Yeah, man, they were there. Freemasons, brother. Like that's what's going on, mate. They're just getting these controls into their towns. The controls have got what are they, the Freemasons or whatever. And they're just setting up control in these towns everywhere around the world, in every single town, eh?
Freemasonry, right?
Yeah.
I'm just amazed that there were so many of them. In 1887 in country Queensland.
Exactly, mate. There's like 8,000. There's 8,000 people living in Maryborough now, mate.
That's
now.
ridiculous.
Like,
now, yeah.
How many people were living there back then? It's just like, what a retarded narrative. Anyway,
was Maryborough supposed to be a gold rush town?
Yeah, man.
That's the narrative, yeah.
That's the story. Same with Gympie, another one that's not far from us as well. It's about an hour away from there.
So basically they say there was no one living there, then suddenly they found gold. Tens of thousands of people have rushed in, found gold, and within 5 years they've built this massive town, and then they all left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same deal with that, the Gilded Age in America, mate, where they built all these
mansions in New York.
Yeah, those crazy. They built them within 10 years or something, and then knocked them down. 10 years later. They cost the equivalent of like $200 million now.
Yeah, and then they were all owned or all claimed by the Rockefellers and all these kind of families.
That's it. And a lot of these buildings had organs in them.
Yes.
Now imagine waking up in the morning, right, with the dude just playing the 432 hertz through the house or whatever. 111 hertz just kill the cancer, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they were just so much more advanced. These people. Yeah.
I mean,
it reminds me of steampunk, mate. It's like I reckon it was like real steampunky.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Is they had the tech, but it wasn't electronic tech like we've got. It was all. Yeah. And it was all made to, like, when they made something, it was like, this will last for 10,000 years kind of thing. There was none of this made in China kind of crap.
That's the interesting thing about concrete. Like concrete these days, it only lasts 100 years. Yeah. And we're so smart.
Yeah, well, this is the thing in all the old concrete that it gets harder as it gets older. But the stuff we make now, it's crap.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the houses that we've been building for the last almost 50 years, I guess. It's almost like they've been building up to a reset. Like they're like, oh, these don't need to last long. They'll fall away,
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
you know?
Flat Earth British said something a while back I've always found interesting, mate, about like, why do we have dogs?
Yeah, I've been
You know,
thinking about
and,
dogs.
like everyone's got these dogs in their house, right?
Yeah.
So if something happens, let's just say something does go down real large scale, everyone's got these dogs in their house. What do dogs do with bones? They bury them, they run around and bury them. So you got all these dogs just burying their owners. And then you look at like what's you know, a little thing like the saying like he's got a heart of gold. Where does that come from? You know, that's because, you know, your heart has got the most gold in your body, like around it. So things like, I don't know, like do they just obliterate the realm and then go and just pick up all the gold and everything from our body a few years later once it's all, you know, like I don't know, like source it all again, you know? I don't know.
It's interesting, isn't it? Especially that gold's one of the best conductors. So when you know, like heart of gold, it's almost like someone who's more in tune, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the thing, to have built what they built, the old civilization, they obviously had thousands of years. And we've only been in this parasite paradigm for, you know, I mean, the more we look into it, the closer the timeline's getting, really.
Yeah, man.
Like, so we're not talking that long. So, you know, I don't know. I don't think these nefarious beings have got control. I think they want to have control, but as far as all these resets, I think it's just a story. I really do. I think it's just a big script. I think the world was much different, probably only a couple of 100 years ago, but they want us to believe that they've always been in control and that we don't have a choice and that this is how it's always been. And and that's just crap.
Yeah, look at how's the pic of that airship of people getting out? You've got like getting out of that airship onto the Empire State
On the
Building.
Empire State, isn't that bizarre?
It's just like insane. Yeah, if that doesn't get the brain ticking, like, you know,
not a mention of it anywhere. And when you look into it, there's quite a few buildings that they say we're doing this, but why would they never mention that? And then why would they never mention all the, you know, the fine art and the furniture and say, look, you know, we used to be able to build this stuff and look at this. They just don't even want us to look at it. Because, I mean, you just look at a desk. Check out a desk from the 1700s. I mean, they're ridiculous.
What about fireplaces, man? You know, putting their artwork around all these fireplaces, like artwork, it's worth millions of dollars. Just like put it around the fire. That's what I'd do with it. You know, it's good for it.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's great for the paint, bit of soot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really good for the artwork.
And when you see some of these fireplaces and they're taller than people, like, what's that heat going to do?
Yeah.
And the same with the tall ceilings is, have you seen the pictures of New York Station, the old New York Station? Train station? And it's just ridiculous. Like literally, it's one of those buildings where you see a photo and the people look like ants. They just look like ants.
Yeah. A lot of those world fairs are like that, mate.
Yeah. But that's in New York. It snows in New York. There's no way in the world they could heat that building because of the size of it. No way in the world. But they build it where it snows and it's going to be freezing. That doesn't make sense.
Very good.
It's just... All right, so this is the old church. I'll get a bit of...
Yeah, so check, that's St. Paul's Church in Maryborough. We walked around that, man. That's another one of those ones you look like an ant next to. That castle tower there.
It's that big,
it's deceiving how big that is, man. It's huge. Yeah, look at that. And that's buried.
Yeah, you can see it's definitely buried, yeah.
You know?
And this is another thing, is these walls that you see everywhere. And these used to confuse me as a kid. Because in Australia, you see them around houses a lot. And they're literally like, what's that going to keep out? You know, a chihuahua could jump over that wall. I mean, so what's the purpose of it? It would make sense if that wall is in the ground and it used to be a lot taller.
Yeah, very good. Very good, mate. Yep.
It's just bizarre, isn't it?
And look at the size of those doorways. And same thing, like that doorway goes down even further.
But That's one hell of a tower, isn't it? I mean, because like you said, that's a big church.
Mate, 1850s or whatever that's supposed to be built. Like, come on. Like,
And what are we thinking? Is this 2 stories to here?
Yeah.
Like, is that 3 stories?
That'd be 3.
That looks like 3 stories, doesn't it?
Buried. Yeah, that third one's sort of just starting to get under.
Something. Oh my God.
You know, pretty big building for what? What the hell is that for?
Yeah, just to look out.
Yeah, like just, well, let's build this massive castle tower thing, like, because just for fun.
Just for fun.
You know? Yeah.
Because we dug out lots of gold and we're rich.
Yeah. Yeah, look at it, man. It's so big.
I mean, just at these columns, you can see how much brick's gone into just building it. Like,
Yeah.
Like they've overdone everything. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty awesome. So we stumbled across. Oh, that's the town hall, mate. Again, look at it. Like, just build the big Colosseum looking thing in the middle of Maryborough again. Why not?
And that's red brick. They've kept the red brick on that, have they? It looks like.
Yeah, and that thing, man. If you zoom out, that's actually so sunken. You can see, like, that's the top. There's a big staircase. See that bar there? That's the top. That's the level up there of the buildings, supposedly on, but street level's like another 10 foot down from there. And that doorway, it's so funny, man. You walk up to it, right? I've got to bend my head. I'm 6'2". I've got to bend my head to get through that doorway.
It's super wide.
Yeah,
it's super wide and really low.
Low.
Like,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way. That's
like how buried can you get?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even turn it into an arch.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
We didn't see that.
Yeah, we didn't see that.
I would have
That's the
loved
old
it.
railway station, hey?
It's pretty full on.
That's just crazy.
That's still there yet?
I don't know, mate. I haven't seen that.
Oh.
I might have known that one.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Because that's newish, but that's an old fort. But
Yeah.
jeez.
Look at that thing. Yeah.
So this is the street of Maryborough.
Yeah, this is one of them, and
Like, every street looks like this.
yeah.
Like,
And look at that light pole. And this is a thing, like, literally, I could find you a picture of a light pole like that in America, in Europe.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to think? That they're all, they were selling them on ancient Amazon and posting the same things out to everyone. I mean, and the ornateness, if a new town, this you could kind of believe, this one, because it's literally just a pole and that's there just to support it, but this is a whole nother story. You can't really see it that well, but
they're doing this beautiful building work when they've just literally, like, turned up on a few boats 100 years before.
And I mean, just these balconies. What's
Where
the
did they get
purpose?
this from?
I mean, because they're all cantilevered. That's not easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Like you've touched upon before, mate, it seems like there's been a reset before us where there's been, like, people our size that have done work before we've sort of got here. And I think we've inherited that part of it, how many resets have they done?
Well, this is the thing.
Or just these colonies, like, these bugs have just got in recently, mate, in the last, couple 100 years.
Yeah, I think it's pretty recent, at least that they've got control and been able to do stuff. I don't think it's anywhere near as long as they want us to think. That's an interesting base too, isn't it, on this light?
Yeah.
How far down that goes.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, mate, it's not just one town. It's pretty much, these are regional areas, mate. These are areas now you could bring I'd bring a friend up to visit me, and they think that I live in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? And then you go out to these areas, like, it's another hour from where we are.
Yeah,
Not much
right.
goes on. You know what I mean? Not much goes on out there, mate.
No, I mean, and a lot of people don't understand, unless you're from Australia, how remote these places are. Like these places are, I mean, they're hours and hours drive from the nearest, you know, sort of big city at least, aren't they? So
Yeah.
there's no
Well,
industry out there. There's no, you know,
no,
foundries. There's no brick makers. There's no mines for the metal. It's like, what's going on?
none of it adds up, mate. I love Parliament House in Canberra, man. How about the vid you did on that, where it's just like this building that's there around dirt roads, you know, like
Yeah, the old
you know,
one. Yeah.
numero uno when you build a building, you get all the roads sorted, like so you can get all your stuff in there. Yeah, and they're just all like this, you know. Such beautiful architecture, you know. It stands out like a sore thumb. Look at that little one. Yeah, well, I saw that, mate. That's an awesome little building.
What's
We walked
that?
up.
1857.
Yeah, again, like 1850. It's like this magical year. And stairs going up, mate. You can't see that with the car in the road, but there's actually stairs going up to that. And it appears that other floor is buried as well. There's a third floor, for sure, at least.
And of course, they love to put their balconies on things in Australia, don't they? Things
How good are the balconies?
Wow, what's that?
Oh, it's just
Yeah, wow, that's nice.
Wow.
Wow, mortuary
Cemetery.
chapel. Wow.
Oh,
Just, you know, why not?
Well, mate,
And it's not even a chapel. It's just it's, I don't know, what is that? Just a walkthrough.
We care so much about our dead that we're going to build this memorial. This chapel because we just care so much about our dead here in Maryborough, Queensland, middle of nowhere.
Yeah, don't worry about the living. You know, they don't need houses. Just build cemeteries.
And probably, you know, what makes me laugh about it, let's remember the Great Depression hit in 1900, apparently, like all around that, you know, like what you like. So these, mate, this is actually classified as a city, wasn't it?
yeah, it was classified as a city in like, I think it was maybe 1967 or 1867. I can't remember.
Wow.
But yeah.
And
we were looking at it yesterday. It said they had a population of 50,000.
Yeah, 50,000, man, lived here, and now there's 8.
Now there's 8.
Like, but yeah, and again, they built these awesome brick, like massive, over the top, solid brick. Yeah, crazy, last forever sort of vibe houses and buildings, you know.
I mean, well, look at this one. We've got this big brick building here.
Yeah.
And look what they've built next to it.
Yeah, well, that's what they can build.
That's what they can build, yeah. This little house.
Yeah, that's them. That's them.
And, and that's the peak of their roof. So that's what the top of their floor is probably here. So you can see this is quite a, you know, a couple of feet higher.
Yeah, that's right, man.
And and another thing, this is, you see this all over Australia. Like this is clearly an old, you know, you can see red brick, old building. And they always put these balconies on them, these verandas, always to change the look of them.
All the time, man. And look at the front of that building too, near that little doorway, there's stairs going up, so near the ATK. And just to the left of that, there's a little window in the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple
So
of
that's,
windows.
you know, when I'm building, I just love building windows in the ground, mate.
Yeah, I do too,
if you're going to build, you just make it more, let's make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, then you can grow mold and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
It's just,
there you go. That entrance level there is enough to rip the whole mainstream narrative apart. One entrance to a building.
Because, I mean, yeah, exactly. How much material would it take to raise the building that much that you had to put stairs in it? So why would you do that? You can see they do this a lot too. Put the stairs on the inside.
That's it. Yeah. Stairs going up. Yeah, that's a nice one.
There's another. What's an old pub?
Another one.
You see this a lot too, don't you? These on the corners with these really sort of small front walls, and then they kind of go out in angles.
Yep.
They're all over the place. Those
buildings. That's so true, man. Yep. Reminds me of a big thing in Sydney. I'm from Sydney originally, so it's I haven't been back down there for a while. So it's
a bit in Sydney. Look at that thing, man.
That's the railway, it looks like. So it must still be there, man.
Railway station, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this ornateness here and here.
Alan, it's crazy.
Completely symmetrical. So I wonder what chimneys were then.
Yeah, fireplaces. What were they really for? I think we've got to look at the building as like a living thing.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Conspiracies Are Us. I think may have been UAP. I can't remember. Did a video. There's this guy, and he lives in New York, and he's pretty much the only guy who knows how these old buildings work as far as the heating systems. And there's this video, and he goes in. He's talking about, stairways. They design them so that heat comes down and it flows down stairways, and then they'll have doors that go nowhere, and it'll just be like a little vent, and you open that and it vents out the heat. And so they're completely designed to heat themselves, to cool themselves, but no one knows how they work. As soon as you go in and start renovating and change anything, you've stuffed the whole thing up.